Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Vaughn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Down below, you can see the correct spelling of my name. You have my IG information, and then you also have my Cash App there, $ 1111 Oracle. If you'd like to bless a sister, bless a sister. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'm so happy everyone is here. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe, share, do all three things with every video, please. We need to bring more folks to the channel, and you need to be notified whenever I have a little free time. So I'm going to start incorporating some lives. I might even go live today while I'm finishing this one up, because I do have a question that I could ask. All right, so I wanted to continue with the unpopular opinions, my unpopular opinions. And so I wanted to break down this other information. And this is something that we every day we are getting new information about what is being missed, what is falling through the cracks, what is happening in this country that could lead to the untimely demise of a lot of Americans. So if you don't already know, there's a lot of food issues going on. There's a lot of things going on with the food. Eggs being contaminated, lettuce has led to explosive diarrhea that has actually unalived 2 people in America. Explosive diarrhea has taken the lives of 2 Americans. So, what comes with that is dehydration, and that is what is happening. I actually have a relative who went in and got diagnosed with some other shit, but this is exactly what she had for 30 days. 30 days. And she literally finally went to the hospital when she was damn near on her deathbed. So, people, if you are feeling sick and you unwell and you can't get over it and past it, and you have this uncontrollable, unrelenting diarrhea, go get that shit checked out and make sure that people are thoroughly checking it out. So, moving right along, jalapenos was another one. So, like Chipotle's on the list, Wendy's is on the list, Chick-fil-A is on the list. The Taco Bell is where this tailor-made lettuce was coming through, the jalapenos through Chipotle. So make sure that you are keeping yourself abreast of all these food issues that are happening in the United States, because it's taking some folks out. And again, we know the FDA has been depleted because of Doge and all that, all that stuff happened at the beginning of this horrible regime. Health insurance, a lot of people cannot afford the premiums now. So there are a lot of people without health insurance. Prescriptions for the elderly. I don't know if you heard this, but I want to make sure I get this right. Medicare Part D. Okay, so if you remember when Biden was in office and he did that special Medicare program where there was going to be a cap on prescription costs for seniors of $2,000, I believe. Well, the regime just got rid of that. So as of this December, that program will be cut, and seniors, your prescription medications are going to go up exponentially. So here's what I would suggest. You get with your doctors, have them double up on the prescriptions so you can start stocking up, if they can. I know they can't do that without like pain medications, etc. But if there are other things, make sure that you're getting those refills in before December, because the prices are going to be jacked up. Fertilizer, the fertilizer that we use, there used to be restrictions on certain fertilizer that can be used with crops that are, being grown for human consumption. And then there were others that can be used for just like flowers and plants, etc. Well, guess what? This regime has gotten rid of those restrictions. So now fertilizer that contains actually human waste can be used on all farms, in all planting areas. So that's another issue. Diseases that we are seeing literally right now in the United States. Measles is on the uprise. I already talked about the explosive shit. And then we got rumors of leprosy down in Florida. We have Legionnaire's disease that was detected in Harlem in New York. And I'm missing something. There's another one. There's another one. I'm missing something. It's going to come to me. But yeah, all these diseases are on the rise. Um, then AI. Don't get me started on AI. So the plants, first of all, the data centers are eating up all of the natural resources, whether we're talking about the water consumptions, where rivers, literal rivers, are disappearing because of the data centers. You have cattle that are having stillborn calves. So for all you beef eaters out there, come look this fall when you're looking at Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, etc., having folks over, y'all gonna be asking, where's the beef? Where's the beef? Because these cows are not having calves. They're dying in the womb. You have cattle that are losing weight drastically. They haven't figured out if it's the humming sound of the data centers or something else that's killing the livestock. So it's affecting and impacting our food, our natural resources. There's a farmer who said they haven't seen a bee. Y'all, we cannot live without the bees in the trees, okay? Has not seen a bee and since the data center was built near his home, his farm. AI drones and robots, y'all need to Google it. Y'all just need to Google it. This week I saw a freaking centaur, a half man, half animal robot that they, are saying, they're telling us it was designed to go into like emergency natural disaster areas like fires, etc. That's what they're telling us now. Okay. A whole group of robot men out of San Diego that they're saying that, oh, these robots are being built to be put on the front lines or go into the home first or etc. Trust me, pay attention, pay attention. And then also illustration of what they're doing with these drones. So there was a man who had a food truck, and the drone just kept circling the food truck, chasing the man down, and then literally dropped the bomb. Now, this was in another country, but these are the drones that they are developing to go after human beings. So, yeah, anybody out there that's rooting for all this AI bullshit and you're rooting for data centers, etc., you need to wake the fuck up. All this is Dr. Frankenstein inventing some shit that's going to potentially take out all humankind. They're even talking about putting our consciousness, our brains in robots, but I'll save that for another video. Removing funding from education, want to make us dumber. I already talked about the seniors. The attack on Dr. Fauci. Let me kind of walk you through how this is highly problematic. So Dr. Fauci was in front of Congress this week, and he is now being held in contempt of Congress because he pled the fifth. Now, why they won't leave this 80 plus year man alone, I don't know. This is a doctor who not only saved us during COVID, but also saved, a lot of people don't know if you're young, saved us through the AIDS crisis, the AIDS epidemic. So this is a man has a body of work of saving millions of people, and the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, MAGA folks in Congress are going after him. And here's how this harms all of us, because there are young doctors right now getting their education and they're looking at what's happening to Dr. Fauci and they're deciding, oh, I'm not going into public medicine. Oh, no, they can have that bullshit. I'm going into private practice. I'm going into an area where only people who can afford to come to me can afford to see me as a doctor. Forget working on pandemics, forget working on controlling different epidemics that might happen, or making sure vaccinations, people are getting vaccinated. Forget controlling, looking at how different foods can impact the body. Forget all that. Forget anything working for the public. I'm going to go into private practice. That's the same shit I would be thinking if I was a medical student right now and I was seeing how they're treating Dr. Fauci. So that's how it harms us down the road. And here's my unpopular opinion about everything that I just shared with you. Leprosy, Legionnaire's disease, the food issues, the prescription prices going up for seniors, people not being able to afford their health insurance, the fertilizer, contaminated fertilizer being used to grow our foods, the drones, the robots, the AI, the data centers, all of that. Here's my unpopular opinion. They're actively trying to kill us. They're actively trying to create a survival of the fittest situation. So, for all you white people out there that are feeling very comfortable, I want you to listen closely to me. They cannot deport you if you are, an American citizen, and most of you are, even though y'all come from Europe, but that's a whole other conversation. Cannot deport you. Police brutality is not happening to you. They aren't conspiring against your kids to have a group of white teenagers jump on the one black kid in the group. None of that is happening to you. But guess what? You have to eat. You might need to go to a doctor. You might have your own damn garden, and now your fertilizer is fucked up. You might be in school. You might not be able to get a loan first of the year. You might not be able to get that Pell Grant first of the year. Data center might move into your neighborhood, start killing your pets. You're going to hear that humming noise all throughout the night. So all these things will impact you. And here's the thing, the top 1%, which is why I have said, I don't understand why the working class, middle class or working class is still supporting, any of you still supporting this idiot, this clown in the White House. I don't understand how you're still supporting him, because if you are not a millionaire or a billionaire, top 1%, they don't give a fuck about you. No matter how pale you are, no matter how straight your hair is, no matter what clan you are a member of. And yes, I use clan intentionally. They don't care about you. They don't care about the data center going into your area, because they're going to make money. That's all they care about. They don't care that your cattle are dying. They don't care. So this will impact all of us. And I believe that it's my unpopular opinion. I'm just going to be straight with you. I believe that it is being intentionally done as population control and a survival of the fittest situation, to create that amongst anyone who is not a millionaire or billionaire, not in the top 1%. Let's talk about this election that happened in Michigan this past week. Abdul El-Sayed. So Abdul El-Sayed beat his opponent, his opponent received $70 million. 70 million, yes, $70 million from AIPAC. Abdul El-Sayed only received $3 million, and he took no AIPAC money and won. Just like Mamdani did last year. So they're going to try to come after Democratic Socialists, which El Sayed has said he is not. He said he's progressive. Mamdani has said he is Democratic Socialist. So let's keep them straight. Let's keep it right. But they're going to try to fear monger everyone to death through November, because what they have discovered is their AIPAC money no longer makes a difference. Will no longer make a difference. The felon, a lot of the people that he endorsed did make it over the finish line in regards to the primaries, but some did not. Andy Ogles didn't make it. Crass, racist, xenophobic Andy Ogles did not make it. And amen for that. So keep in mind and pay attention. My unpopular opinion about this, and the reason why my unpopular opinion about this is Democrats are going to have moderate corporate institutional, your run-of-the-mill Democrat is going to have a problem with it. The reason why they are going to have a problem with it is because they benefit from that AIPAC money too. So if too many people are able to win without the AIPAC money, and we become aware of it, the people who are voting for them, we're going to say, well, why are you taking AIPAC money? El Sayed won, didn't have to take AIPAC money. Mamdani won and is doing a damn good job and didn't take AIPAC money. So why are you taking AIPAC money? And Democrats don't want that question. The moderate Democrats don't want that question. And so that aligns them with Republicans. Because Republicans are all about Israel and all that AIPAC money. So pay attention, folks. This is the second person who made it through up against insurmountable money donated by AIPAC. And for anybody out there running or thinking of running, this is the new standard, because now we, the public, know that you don't have to take that AIPAC money to win. And we're going to hold you accountable. Okay, moving right along. Unpopular opinion. White men will be okay. A lot of people are sitting back and waiting for all these people, especially those in Congress, to, to react in a big way to all the things that are happening. To be very concerned about all the things that I just listed in this video, at the beginning of the video. Be concerned about the food contamination, to be concerned about food scarcity, about the gas prices, about the gas and diesel scarcity that's getting ready to hit, that's getting ready to come up, about prescription prices going up for the elderly. All the things that I mentioned before, people are waiting, like, why aren't they more upset? Why aren't they more upset? Because they're white men. They're older white men. A lot of those white men in Congress were millionaires before they even went to Congress. A lot of them are attorneys, so if they're not millionaires, they're making great money. They're going to make great money after Congress. So the white men are going to be okay. So we have to stop sitting back and looking for white men in Congress or white men in office to save us. Not one hair on Gavin Newsom's head will be bothered by any of the things that are being implemented by the regime. Unless one day they decide to go after white men who are supporting Black and brown people, like they did Alex Preddy. But when you're on that level, governor level, Congress level, state Senate level, etc., they're protected. They're protected. Everything that's happening right now will impact a certain group of people. Anybody that's not Caucasian, anyone who is not wealthy, anyone who is not Christian, and anyone who is not male. White women, male. So you can believe that there's some protection in your proximity to your husband, your dad, whomever, but there's not. There's not. There's not. So my unpopular opinion on this is we cannot wait for them to do something. We cannot wait and stop being surprised that Congress is just throwing up their hands and saying, oh, well, we can't do anything. I've already told you there's a bunch of weak, feckless men that are in Congress in the first place. Now we have learned that a lot of those weak, feckless men are also part of the closetocracy that's happening in DC. Now, I'm not trying to conflate gay with weak and feckless, but they got shit to hide, is my point. They got shit to hide. So if you think the person who is trying to make sure they're covering their own ass is going to risk their ass for you, oh, you got another thing coming. They're not only trying to protect their position, but they're also trying to protect their secrets. Okay? In Congress, a lot of them. Now, whether that is, being on the DL, or a lot of them are, sexually harassing and assaulting some of the young aides that are there. We can't be waiting on them. They are going to be okay, and they know it. So we cannot wait on all the white men in Congress. We cannot wait for whomever the next white man is that's elected president. We cannot wait for anybody that's running for the state Senate. The white men are going to be okay, and they are very aware of it. And again, I started this off by saying, if this does not apply to you and you are a true ally, true blue ally, you are on the front lines, which I see a lot of that, especially at the detention centers and at the protests. If this does not apply to you, keep walking, keep doing what you're doing. But I want you all to know that there are many, many Caucasian men and women who believe they will never be touched by any of this stuff. And thus far, they have not been. So they're okay. They're okay. They're fine. So they can walk by when the person is getting snatched up off the street. They can be like, oh, Erica got fired? Erica got let go? Why? She was such a great, oh, it's DEI cutbacks? Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for her. So what does everybody want for lunch? They can do that because they will be okay. Now I've messed up my hair. So, unpopular opinion, we cannot wait on them. I know people are like, oh, if everything goes well in 2026 election, and yes, I'm going to push the elections here. I'm going to push, get out and vote. We cannot have 90 million people sit out again, ever. We cannot have that happen again. I'm going to push the elections here. But guess what? The elections alone are not going to save us. The people in Congress alone are not going to save us. Most of them won't even try because they don't have to. They're good. Their families are good. Their great-great-grandchildren will be good. So yeah. And imagine this. This is my last point. Imagine this. Imagine if the 75 million, if the 75 million people who voted for Kamala, plus the 90 million people who didn't vote at all, but now they're pissed off about how the country is being run. And out of the 77 million people who voted for the felon, let's say half of them are pissed off now too, because they feel like they've been betrayed and lied to. Imagine if all those millions of people took a week off, didn't work. What if we all didn't show up to work? What if those 70, you know what? Let me get a number together. What if all those millions of people, let's say 35 million, let's say we have half there and we have Kamala 75 and then we have the 90, that's 200 million people. If 200 million people didn't buy gas for a week, what if 200 million people didn't go to a Target, a Walmart, a gas station, a Starbucks, didn't order off of Amazon for just a week? What if 200 million people flooded the streets on a daily basis? We didn't go to work. We're not shopping. We're not getting gas. But guess what? We are in the streets. And we are in the streets for an entire week. And we are pulling up to every establishment, every building that's occupied by the Heritage Foundation. We're pulling up and surrounding the White House, the Pentagon. What if we, 200 million of us, did that for a week? What if we flexed for a week just to let them know that we're pissed off, we're angry, and we're not standing for this shit anymore? What if that happened for just a week? Hmm. Imagine if we were able to starve the system for a week. Imagine how many corporate leaders in the C suites we would wake up. Imagine how many of them would see their stock plummet and be sick. Imagine after being sick, they got on the phone and they called up the felon and said, hey, 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 we're losing money here. What's going on? What you doing? Can you send them out a check or something? What would happen if 200 million of us in this country stood on motherfucking business? Imagine what would happen. Just imagine. That's my unpopular opinion, folks. I'm sticking to it, and I'll talk to you soon.